It's day 18 of the Body Shaping for Women Over 50 series with moderate weights. Grab your dumbbells and let's go. All right, Killer Bees, let's go ahead and get moving and grooving. Get your dumbbells completely out of the way and let's get started with some arm circles with high knees. You guys, I'm already just relaxing into this one. And it's a full workout today. It's not like we're truly relaxing, but welcome to the workout. You guys, I'm Pahla B. I'm your best middle-aged fitness friend. And around here, we are all about making peace with your menopausal body. And this, to me, is one of the best ways to make peace with your body, by following a program, by knowing what's coming next, by having lots of moderate days, by planning for tomorrow. All kinds of good stuff going on right now. Just in case you randomly clicked on day 18, I'm so impressed by your mental fortitude in order to do such a thing. I might do it like out of curiosity, but I probably wouldn't be following along with the workout. Like I might be like, well, what's this all about? But if you are here and today's your first day, wow, welcome. This is the Body Shaping series. And here we go with some body shaping goodness. You guys, today I've got a beautiful, moderate strength training weights workout for us. I want you to have your moderate weights nearby and err on the side of too light rather than too heavy. There is nothing good that can be coming from having too heavy of a weights on a moderate day. Let's go ahead and do some arm crossers with booty kickers. So feel free, honestly, to even go with your lightest ones. Whatever feels good for you today, whatever feels moderate for you today. You know, I stress that all the time about whatever feels moderate to you is moderate, but I don't think I've really talked about how some days, some things just feel heavier than others. If today is one of those days where you're just like, wow, I can't even face what's normally my moderate weights, go lighter. Nobody is standing outside your door like, well, what weights is she using today? I mean this so nicely, nobody cares. You are using the weights that feel best for you. And today just feels good to me. You guys, I've got my handy dandy gym boss here. It's in for intervals of 40 seconds of work and just 10 seconds of rest. It's gonna be not a lot of rest in between, but also we're not trying to move fast. We're not trying to get in a lot of reps. This is a straight up circuit. I've got, probably a dozen exercises. In fact, I think it is a dozen exercises that we're gonna do, and we're gonna go through the circuit twice. Easy peasy, nice and, easy. It's strength training. Let's go ahead and do some welcome to my homes. Simple and straightforward. That's the phrase I'm looking for. There's never anything easy in a workout. It's always work, but it's also not crazy today. Some of the exercises, like the very first one that we're going to start with here, the exercises are complex. I'm making sure that we get the most bang for our buck. We're not exercising all day today, so I want to make sure that we're hitting all of our major muscles. I want to make sure that we're feeling really good and really strong and really confident about where we are in this series and in our lives and in our bodies. Really, when in doubt, feel confident about everything. Just feel confident. It feels good. You guys, we're gonna get started here with overhead to high knees, which is exactly what it sounds like. We're gonna have our hands up overhead. We're gonna bring we're gonna bring both of them down to one high knee at a time, because it would not make sense to have both high knees at a time. That would be jumping. We don't do that around here. Let's go ahead and get moving. Like I said, the interval timer is set for 40 seconds and just 10 seconds of rest. So find a pace that feels comfortable, that feels moderate. We're not trying to move fast. If you have opted for something that's like a lighter than moderate weight for you, I know you could go a lot faster, but this isn't cardio toning. This is all about thinking about pulling in your core, thinking about using those big swimmer muscles in your back in order to bring your biceps all the way up next to your ears, thinking about squeezing from your glutes, your hamstrings, and your quadriceps simultaneously to stand on that one foot at a time. When it beeps again, we're going to get 10 seconds of rest. Here it is. And then we're going to do oblique crunches. The weights are going to be here at your shoulders with your elbows out wide. Literally rest the weights on your shoulders. We're going to bring up the one knee towards the same elbow. See if you can bring it all the way up to touch it. And then the other knee on the other side towards that other elbow. Really thinking about pulling in your core, of course. This is abs and oblique work. We're trying really hard not to bend forward into it. There will be a little bit of a forward bend, but it's mostly oblique work. And I know, If your hips are popping like mine are, I know you feel the work in your hip complex also. There's work to be had in basically every one of our major muscle groups for any kind of complex exercise like this. Even though your arms aren't moving, holding your elbows out isometrically like that, 10 seconds of rest. Coming up next, we're doing Drinky Birds. I know how much you love these, and that's why I got them over with first. We are going to go back and forth though, so this is not like, it's not balance work. It is, but we're not trying to hold on to it for any length of time. You're pulling up one leg back behind you, really thinking about squeezing the glute in order to do that. While you're doing that, your arms are just relaxing straight down, coming straight down the fronts of your legs. I'd really like you to think when you are squeezing that glute to pull that leg up behind you about keeping your toes facing the ground and your both hip bones facing forward. It's very easy to get up a lot higher when you let those toes come out to the side. That is actually a compensation. That is your hamstrings not wanting to do all their job. 10 seconds of rest here, and coming up next, we're going to do wide open side kicks. Going to start with our hands right here at our chest. Elbows are going to be about shoulder height. We're going to open up wide as we kick to the side. Really thinking about pulling in your core. There's kind of no resting position here for your arms, so we're really thinking about engaging your big back muscles the entire time. Because there's no resting position, this does get kind of crampy at the end of the 40 seconds. So really thinking about squeezing the right amount. There is a point where you can actually squeeze your muscles too much and bring on a cramp, so thinking about using them, pulling your shoulder blades together without squeezing them uncomfortably. And of course, we're going to be squeezing from our glutes too while we're raising one leg at a time. 10 seconds of rest. Coming up next, we're doing X marks the spot. I'm going to go ahead and do that with one dumbbell. I really prefer to have both hands on the dumbbell because we're swinging it like we are. Feet about hip width apart. Starting on one shoulder, we're going to cross down to your opposite hip, back up to the other shoulder, and cross down the other way. We're drawing a big letter X right in the middle of you here. Really, really thinking about squeezing from your core and using your abs and obliques. I know that the dumbbell is being moved in your hands here, but it's your abs and obliques that are actually making this work happen. We're thinking about chopping and stopping this movement. A lot of momentum here, so we're really focusing on squeezing at the stopping point. That's where the grunt is, to make sure that this doesn't get out of control and to make sure that our lower back doesn't volunteer. 10 seconds of rest, and coming up next, we're doing good mornings. Once again, we're going to have our elbows out wide. Lots of that movement today. This is a deadlift without the hands in front of you. So weights up here on your shoulders, just like they were for the oblique crunches. We're going to push your hips back while keeping your core in and your back super straight, and then pull your hips forward. You will notice, I notice, you cannot get down as far as you can in a deadlift because your hands are up here and your elbows are wide. Your upper back is creating so much work for you that your lower body probably can't work quite as efficiently. That's okay. We're working on those big swimmer muscles in your back and thinking about that work. This is actually, good mornings are almost more upper body than lower body. Of course, I want you to think about squeezing from your glutes and hamstrings for the work. 10 seconds of rest. Coming up next, we're doing side raise front kicks. So we're going to go across your body. So whichever hand or whichever foot is kicking, the opposite hand is raising out to the side. This requires a fair bit of coordination and thought. Take your time. We're not in a hurry. We're kicking forward using the quadriceps right up front, like we did the other day. We're also doing a side raise simultaneously. Going across your body like this means you really got to have your core pulled in tight so that your lower back isn't volunteering to help with either one of these motions. Making sure that you're breathing. This one got tough, and it's a little bit easier to accidentally use momentum. So really thinking about controlling it. Coming up next, we're doing front raise side kicks. So it's the same, but not the same at all. Hands are in front of you with your palms facing you. One foot is kicking out to the side while the opposite hand is raising directly in front of you, forward. So Again, across your body, lots of coordination here, lots of ability to accidentally use momentum. Make sure that you're pulling this work from your big muscles, your glutes, your abs, your latissimus dorsi. I almost said triceps, which is a very small muscle compared to your latissimus dorsi. Latissimus dorsi, by the way, just in case you don't know that, your lats, those are those big swimmer muscles in your back. They're some of the largest muscles we have. You're also using your pectoralis in the front. 10 seconds of rest here. Coming up next, okay, something slightly easier. We're doing triangles. Feet are nice and wide on this one. Weights just start right here at your chest. We're going to roll one of those weights all the way down to the side, letting your hip jut out. This is the version where we are actually using our hip complex, not just our abs and obliques. The opposite hand is going up overhead, maintaining its position towards the ceiling the entire time. So straight up, and then it stays there while your body rolls sideways. As I mentioned at the beginning of the workout, this is work. There was never any doubt. This is simple and straightforward. Not too long of intervals, but there's still plenty of work to be had. This is why we opted 10 seconds of rest for not exactly heavy weights today. Coming up next, we're doing high knee curls, which is exactly what it sounds like. Lock those elbows right into your waist. We're going to curl while we bring up one high knee. Both hands are curling on this one. We're not going to try and go across your body again. There was only so much coordination I had in me today. And because we're really operating on all cylinders with balance work here and strength work there, pulling in your core the whole time, I didn't want to think too hard about every single exercise when it beeps. We're getting 10 seconds of rest, and coming up next, we're doing bent over flies. So we're going to have our hips push back behind us in almost a deadlift position, but not quite that far over, while we are down in that position, keeping your back straight and your core pulled in nice and tight. I'm going to fly our hands out to the side. So push those hips back, keep your back nice and straight, neck is neutral, palms facing each other with the weights in your hands, and then palms facing more or less the ground. The goal is to get your arms all the way out parallel with the floor. With moderate weights, that's certainly easier. Doesn't mean it's easy. Thinking about squeezing from those big muscles in your back rather than shrugging or hoisting or using momentum, that's all we're really thinking about. Excellent form, and not worrying about whether or not we get all the way into the full position. Doing your best work with whatever weights you have is the best way to get the best results. You guys, when it beeps again, we're gonna get 10 seconds of rest, and then I think, oh yeah, the next exercise is our last exercise in the circuit. Not too much today. Twisting Ys is coming up next. Feet super close together. Your upper body forming a big letter Y. You're gonna reach your opposite hand down around towards your opposite thigh somewhere, wherever you can reach to. If it's your hip, your thigh, all the way down to your knee, if you can twist and bend like that. I'm not trying to bend forward very far, nearly so much as I'm trying to twist and reach around my body, because that's where we get all the ab and oblique work. Plenty of upper body and shoulder work to be done here. Plenty of latissimus dorsi work to be done here, but we're not trying to bend forward too much into it. Unfortunately, if you bend forward too much into it, your lower back will probably help you stand back up. And 10 seconds of rest. You guys, coming up next, we're starting the circuit again. Nice and simple, nice and straightforward. Overhead to high knees, exactly what it sounds like. I don't even have to think too hard about that one. Hands up overhead, bringing it down to one high knee, and back up and down to the other. Now this one in particular, we do this exercise for cardio somewhat frequently, so you probably want to go faster on this one. Be mindful of the fact that you have weights in your hands, and this is supposed to be a strength workout. So go ahead, pull your core in, think about excellent form, getting your biceps all the way up next to your ears every single time, and don't worry about going too fast. Think about the muscles you're using. Thinking about excellent form really helps you stay connected to your body and what it's doing, not just moving for the sake of moving. We've got 10 seconds of rest here, and coming up next is oblique crunches. Weights right here on your shoulders with your elbows out to the side, and here we go. Balance on one side. See if you can get your knee all the way to your elbow. That last inch is when my hip pops. Doesn't feel amazing? Except for the fact that that really is where the work is. And I know, I mean, I'm not telling you that you have to. It's kind of like the flies. You're getting wherever you can get with your best form. But here's what I'm saying. If you can get pretty close and you can tell that you actually could, if you would just squeeze that little bit more, try squeezing that little bit more. That's the difference between good form, good results, and excellent form, excellent results. 10 seconds of rest. Coming up next, we're doing Drinky Birds. I love Drinky Birds. I know you guys don't. Some of you don't. Some of you do. Some of you have this weird thing just like I do. Pull your leg up back behind you. Think about those back toes. Where are they? Are they pointed at the ground? That's where they should be pointed. When you're thinking about your toes, it might change your entire stance. It could change everything that you're doing about this exercise. The thing that I used to think about all the time was simply bringing up the back leg. That was the hardest part for me, was bringing the work into my glutes. Once you've brought the work into your glutes, make sure that the standing leg hamstring is doing its job too. That's where we don't want to let that leg flip out to the side. Of course, you're pulling in your core and keeping your back straight also. I assume that you're doing that. That's where we are in our stage here. Coming up next, we're doing wide open side kicks. And I'm very glad that this was kind of early in the circuit. So elbows out wide, wide open with a side kick. I knew that this one was going to be one of our toughest exercises. Sometimes I like to get tougher as we go, but sometimes there are some exercises I just kind of want to get over with. This is one of those let's just get it over with before I'm too shaky kind of exercises. Keeping those elbows at shoulder height really requires you to focus on pulling from your shoulder blades. Your back should feel nice and straight, nice and strong, squeezed together. And of course your core is pulled in, thinking about using the sides of your glutes. 10 seconds of rest for that thing that I'm not even going to tell you about anymore because we're done with them. Coming up next, we're doing X marks the spot. Go ahead and put one dumbbell down if you'd like to. You're actually really welcome to do this. Here we go. Chopping the letter X and chopping the letter X. Really trying to keep your hips nice and stable. You're welcome, to use 2 dumbbells on this exercise if you'd like to. For me, it gets really unwieldy and I find it to be difficult. You've seen me do these on push days where I can actually go with a pretty significantly heavier weight. But the only reason I can do that is because I have 1 dumbbell in both hands. It's a surer grip for me. You know, grip strength and thinking about your grip is part of the work that we're doing here, you guys. We're really thinking about where we feel stable, where we feel strong, how we can get stronger and better, 10 seconds of rest, at everything that we're doing. Coming up next, we're doing those good mornings, squeezing from your upper back again, really thinking about having those elbows out wide. Weights can be resting on your shoulders, that's totally fine. This is much more about having your elbows out wide than having the weights honestly doing anything other than creating resistance, which is always what they do. Core is pulled in nice and tight. Back stays super duper straight. Neck is neutral. You're getting your hips pushed back, 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 back. Hips pull forward, forward, forward. Engaging your upper body the entire time. Strength or changes the rear chain. Meaning the rear chain, I mean, it's just what it sounds like. It's literally all the muscles in your back, all the way down the backs of your legs. And the fewer of them that you are using, the easier it is to bend over forward more. 10 seconds of rest. When we're engaging lots of rear chain muscles, the whole chain shortens up. Coming up next, we're doing side raise, front kicks. Okay, side raise, front kick. I had to say it very slowly and really think about what that means. Side raise, front kick across your body. If your right foot is kicking out, your left arm is raising out to the side, which means that you're engaging all of your core, not just one side, but both sides of your core. And I don't know if you've ever really thought about that. Like when we do the X marks the spot, when you're chopping from side to side, it's a dynamic motion that requires you to kind of fire different parts of your abdominals, different parts of your core at almost simultaneous times. 10 seconds of rest, and then here we go with front raise, side kicks across your body. If your right hand is raising out to the front, your left leg is kicking out to the side. Using Once again, those big latissimus dorsi, also the tops of your shoulders and the sides of your glutes. We are working all of our major muscle groups from all angles today. Pressing up, pressing out, raising to the side, some lateral motion here. This is a very efficient and effective workout, even with moderate weights, you guys. I know you've heard my soapbox about this. Moderate is the way to go to keep yourself strong without knocking yourself out. This is still kind of a recovery workout. Coming up next, we're doing triangles. And in fact, speaking of recovery workouts, that's what we've got to look forward to tomorrow for triangles. Hands start right here at your chest. One of them is going to go up overhead while the other one rolls all the way down your side. See if you can get all the way down to touch your leg, or touch your toes rather. Hopefully you can touch your leg somewhere. And then switching hands. One hand maintaining its relationship with the ceiling, the other one trying to make acquaintances with your foot. Tomorrow is a recovery core day. And I'm going to tell you straight up, because I already know, because I've already programmed the workout. Tomorrow is all balance all the time. We're standing, we're not down on the ground at all. But it's not going to be easy. It's not your everyday, gentle, easy, relaxing recovery day. There's plenty of work to be had when we are working on our balance. 10 seconds of rest, and coming up next is high knee curls, exactly what it sounds like. Lock those elbows right into your waist. We've got excellent form for biceps curls and bringing up one high knee at a time. So today we're going to eat our baseline nice and easy with strength today and body weight strength tomorrow. You might consider thinking about protein, making sure that you're getting plenty of it. I mean, generally speaking, on this program, there's plenty of body shaping, muscle building goodness to be had if you consider your macros and think about trying to eat a certain amount of protein. It's always a good idea. You guys, when it beeps again, we're getting 10 seconds of rest, and then we're going into those bent over flies again. Really thinking about excellent form. We've only got a couple of exercises left. And even though it's a moderate day, I can feel the work. So making sure that your core is pulled in tight, your back stays super duper straight. Push your hips back behind you. Palms face each other. Palms face more or less the ground. Thinking about keeping your neck neutral. I know that can be tough when you're trying to watch me on TV or your iPad or your phone or whatever, but you know how to do this motion, and there's nothing more exciting than this about it. So go ahead and get your neck nice and neutral until it beeps again, and then we'll get 10 seconds of rest before our final exercise. Or should I say final strength exercise, because I'm not going to surprise you. You know there's a finisher coming. You know we're working on balance today too. You guys, I tell you what, I've been thinking about this a lot during this series. It never really occurred to me, here's 10 seconds of rest, how much I love to think that I am surprising you. I know I'm not. Here we go with twisting Ys. Gonna have our hands up and out to the side, feet super close together. Twist down into it wherever you can reach. Thinking about holding that one hand up overhead as strong as you can. I can feel my elbow bending because the weight gets real heavy, and you also don't want to lock your elbow, so it's okay if there's a little bit of a bend, but making sure that you're engaging your rear chain the entire time. You guys, I always have the exercises in the description. There's always a way to know what's coming next, but for some reason, it just delights me every day to be like, well, we're done, but we're not finished. And I know you know it's coming. It's not really a surprise, but it's funny. Go ahead and put your weights all the way away. Our balance work today is a split stance twist. So we're going to have 1 foot forward. It doesn't matter. We're going to do an entire interval with 1 foot forward and 1 foot back. That back foot, you're up on your toe. We're going to twist into it and out of it. So your torso is twisting both directions. Oh, golly. And this is amazing how balancy this is, considering, and I know you recognize this as warrior pose. It's amazing how balancy this is, considering that we have both feet on the ground. Sometimes we are working on balance even without standing on 1 foot. You guys, when it beeps again, we're going to get 10 seconds of rest, and then we're going to do this exact same thing on the other side. Whew, dolls. That was not easy. And I suspect I suspect it's not going to be any easier on the other side. Let's just see how this works for me. Go ahead and come into that split stance, different leg forward, different leg back. Twisting into it actually feels easier, but is that the other way? Might be, I don't know. Twisting out of it, yep, that's the one that's tough. Really thinking, kind of like we were with Drinky Birds, thinking about having all of your toes facing forward, really thinking about this split stance being not necessarily a power stance. A power stance, you would have one foot cocked out to the side so that you had both heels on the ground. This is intentionally an out of balance position. This is also the very last thing that we are doing today. No surprises here, you guys. I'm going to turn off my timer and we are going to do a little bit of cooling down. Wasn't that just right? That was like exactly what I was in the mood for today, and I hope that it hit your spot just right too. We're going to go ahead and do some arm circles with just some tappers here. Breathing, feeling really good about the work that we put in. You guys, I know that on these moderate days with not super long workouts, I know that some of you are like, I have to do just a little bit more. I got to do a little bit more. But I tell you what, your body probably is not thinking that at all. Your body is grateful for this amount and this amount of difficulty of work. Your body is making adaptations. It is still, whether you are sore or not, still making its adaptations from Monday. Fuel for that, rest for that, rest your mind at ease that changes are being made in your body even on days when we didn't work super, super, super hard. I got sweaty, it feels amazing, and we definitely got some good work out of it. So, go ahead and open up. I'm going to stop getting on my soapbox every single day. I am, except that I'm not. Go ahead and close it up. Give yourself a big hug and a pat on the back, my friend. What a great job you did today. I love it when we get stronger together with our moderate dumbbells and have some fun and learn some things about how our body works and how our mind works and how this program works. Always so much fun. I will see you tomorrow when we are doing balance work all the time. It is one of my favorite kinds of recovery days, getting stronger in our core, getting a nice, practical, functional fitness kind of a workout. So make sure that you click the subscribe button so that I can see you tomorrow.